YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen, where I eat to live and not live to eat. Today we're making holiday dish number 9. I'm going to be doing a vegan tuna casserole, or no tuna casserole, whatever. So if you're interested in seeing how I create this delicious casserole, stay tuned and I'll show you. Guys, so here's what we're gonna need for our vegan no tuna casserole. So for our tuna substitute, I don't know if you guys have ever tried, it's Good Catch Tuna. It's the all plant-based fish-free tuna. It's really good. I enjoy it. I make tuna sandwiches out of it. I'm using the naked in water. They do have it in herb and oil and herbs as well. I just keep it with just the water. But this is, it does contain soy, so just FYI. But it is the non-GMO, it's vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free soy, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's called Good Catch. And again, it's the fish-free tuna. I enjoy it. So I'm going to be using this for my tuna. And they come in these packages, these sealed packages like you would get your regular tuna. I'm making a large dish, so I will be using, these are 3.3 ounces packages. I will be using 4 or 5, just depending on as I get to mixing. I have 5 here. I may not need them all, but it's hard for me to gauge right now on how much I'm gonna need for my tuna casserole. So I have those. You're gonna also need some peas, some frozen peas. I have some frozen peas. I just rinsed them off. I have 4 cups of frozen peas because I am making a larger dish. I have a cup of chopped mushrooms. I also have a half of a medium onion chopped that I'm going to be using for my dish. For our egg noodles, I used to use just the egg noodles, but Walmart Great Value has the wide egg-free ribbons. So I'm using those because they are vegan. There are no eggs in these. But I grew up using the ribbons, so that's what I'm going to use for mine. I'm also going to need some French's onions. I'm going to be topping those with the French's onions, so you're going to need those. We also used to use cream of mushroom soup in our tuna casserole, but because this is vegan, I'm going to be substituting the tuna casserole, the chicken cream of mushroom soup with I'm using the plant-based Alfredo with my mushrooms. So this is kind of where I'm getting that creamy mushroom texture from. And then I am going to use my Dyia block cheese because we want cheese in there. So if you saw my video where I made the enchiladas, I'm going to be using the block cheese, just creaming up the cheese, melting it down, blending it with a little bit of milk, making a creamy cheese sauce. I'll mix that in there as well. And then for our seasonings, what we're going to need, I'm going to use a little bit of Obey seasoning because that gives you that fishy taste. I'm also using some Kelp granules. That's also to help bring the fishiness into our tuna. I'm going to be using smoked paprika. You guys probably already know that. I love that smoky taste. I'm going to be using a little bit of garlic and some spike seasoning. So these are the seasonings, and this is everything that I'm going to need. If I need to alter anything as I go through, I will definitely let you know. But right now, this is our basis to getting our vegan no tuna casserole started. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I have my water on the stove. I'm going to go ahead and get my pasta on, and I'm going to go ahead and melt down my cheese, get that prepared, and then we'll come right back over here at this spot and start mixing everything together and let you see how easy, quick and easy this tuna casserole is going to be. Okay, so we're back. About 15 minutes we did our pasta, which is ready. So this is really tender, and we did our cheese sauce. Our cheese sauce, again, just melted down the cheese for about 10-15 minutes. It wasn't all the way melted. It still had some chunks. When I cut it up, I put about 1/3 of milk in here and just blended it in my mixer here, and it smoothed it out. So that's all you got to do for your cheese sauce. But for our noodles here, I want to do a little bit of seasoning on my noodles. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of spike seasoning on my noodles. If I was to guess, it's probably about a half a teaspoon. Sprinkle a little bit of our garlic on our noodles. And I want to give this a little mix here. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mix in our tuna and everything here. So I'm going to put some of my Alfredo in here so our noodles will be good and saturated with the Alfredo sauce. So if you guys want to come up a little bit closer, I can bring you up just maybe a little bit closer so you guys can see it, everything up close. So come on up and see what I'm doing here. All right, so here we are just a little bit closer. Again, make sure you don't overcook your ribbons because they're going to also have to go into the oven for about 30-45 minutes, depending on your oven. So this is, again, the Alfredo that I'm using. It's the Simple Truth. It's the plant-based Alfredo sauce. And I get this from Kroger. So this is what we're going to be using to help cream up our tuna casserole. So I'm just going to use a little bit at a time. Again, when I talk about using ingredients, I always tell you guys to use it for your own measurements and your own likings. These are just basically the basis of what you need. So I want to get this going here, get this good and creamy. Let's see. Uh-oh. We want our noodles to have flavor. We'll get more seasonings in here as we go, but just wanted to kind of give them a little bit of flavor with that spike and the garlic. So it looks like we're going to definitely use this whole jar. If we need more, we have more. Where's my spatula? One moment. I have my spatula out. Let's throw it in the dish. Just want to make sure I get all this out of here. Okay. And if I need more, I'll get more, but I want to wait till I get my cheese sauce in here because I don't want it too runny. But we definitely want it creamy because it is a casserole. And another thing I was going to mention as well, if you're not a big pea person, you can use broccoli, you can use carrots. I mean, we grew up making tuna casserole with peas. And so that's just traditionally how I've always made it. But if you're not a pea person, but you want everything else, you can use broccoli. Make it like a broccoli, tuna and broccoli casserole. So definitely be creative when you're preparing the dish to make it how your family would enjoy it. Okay, so this may need just a little bit more sauce. But like I said, I will see once I get everything else mixed in here. I don't want to overdo it on the Alfredo and open it if I don't need it, but I do have more. So then what I'm going to go ahead and do is start mixing in my veggies. But I wanted to give you a close-up again of the tuna. If you couldn't see it, it's Good Catch, the fish-free tuna. This is naked and in water. And it actually, if you smell it, it smells like tuna to me. Or my husband said, I told him it smelled like sardines. He said sardines are stronger than that, but it does have a fishy smell. So they did really good on this. But I'm going to go ahead and mix in some mushrooms here. And this is just a couple mushrooms that I have. Portobello mushrooms that I've chopped up. I'm going to get these mixed in here. And go ahead and mix in our onion. I have half of a medium onion that I've diced up here. Because you can't have tuna without onions. Not in my house anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get some onions in here. I love onions and garlic and stuff like that. So I tend to use that in a lot of my dishes. Like I said, if you're not a big onion person, leave them out. But for me, I love onions and mushrooms and things like that. So I think it's just going to give this dish a little bit more flavor. Okay. And then we're going to mix in our peas. And so this is 4 cups of peas that I have here that I rinsed off. And these were frozen peas. So we're just going to get these mixed in here. Okay, and I'm hoping that this dish is going to hold out. I do have a larger dish. I always do that. Y'all know I love making a mess and dirtying up dishes and then having to get a bigger bowl. But we're going to see. This might work. It'll be nice and thick. Look at those peas. Get everything kind of mixed in there evenly. Okay. And then what we're going to do now is get our tuna in here. I'm just going to use this spatula to get this out. So you guys, you can see what the tuna looks like. So it's chunky. And they don't give you very much in a bag. And these bags run me about $3 and maybe a little under $3.50. So you can kind of see here, just to give you a look, this is the texture. So, you know, it pulls apart just like your tuna would. But it's real chunky. So that's what that looks like. We'll get another one in here. And you guys all know my husband loves texture and he loves meat. And so I will probably use all of these bags just so I can get a good God Almighty maybe. Okay, let's see. That's that one. Bag number 3. Okay. All right. And they do break up, so some of the pieces are a little bit bigger. You can just break them up like that. Or when you spoon it in, I'm sure it'll be fine. This other bag in here. Yeah, I made a tuna sandwich out of these. I used to love to go to Jimmy John's. They would have a great tuna sandwich, the ultimate tuna, and they would put the lettuce, the cucumbers on the sandwich. Oh my gosh, I love making that. That's one of my go-tos. When I just want a good sandwich, I can do one of these, like a tuna sandwich. And it just hits the spot. Okay. All right. So that's all the tuna. Let me rinse my hands a little bit. And then we're going to mix in our seasonings in here. So let's just go ahead and get this mixed in good. Yeah, I think this is an equal amount of tuna for the pasta that we have in here. So just want to get it all mixed in here really good. Okay, and then I'm going to start mixing in some of my seasonings here. So I have some of the kelp. And again, you don't necessarily have to have the kelp. It's just to add a little bit more of the fishy flavor to it. So that's about a teaspoon of the kelp. I'm going to use my smoked paprika. I'm just going to take this off of here. And I think I'm going to use about a teaspoon of that as well. Give it my smokiness. So a teaspoon of that. I'm going to also mix about a teaspoon of Old Bay. Just to give it that little extra hint of flavor. And I'm going to add about another teaspoon of the spice seasoning. in here really good. And I probably could have used a bigger pan. But I ain't gonna look over to nobody because they're gonna be like, I told you so. So we ain't gonna look that way. We're just gonna keep staring. Okay. I think we're gonna be okay. But you definitely wanna make sure you get all your seasonings mixed in here really well. So stir it in really good. So you don't have just one section that you have all the seasonings in, and then you get to another section and there's kind of no seasoning there. So you don't want to do that. So take your time, get this all mixed in really good, so that way all the flavor is evenly distributed through the dish. Or you can sprinkle as you go, as you layer, you know, put in your seasoning as you layer. That would probably be easier, and that's probably how I would have done it, but I try to do everything for measuring purposes for the video. So, okay. Now, so we're going to need to add our cheese sauce, and then from there, depending on how liquidy this becomes, I may go ahead and add some more of the, so my cheese is settled. You guys can see my cheese sauce is kind of settled. It was warm, so I'm going to add just a tad bit of milk. Just a tad bit of milk, just to get it back, just a little bit to loosen it back up, because it's been sitting here for a second. Okay. Okay. See, it didn't take very long. We just want to get it to where to pour. Once you sit it, it does thicken back up really quick. We want to get our spatula, get all that cheese out of here. Get it all off of here. Okay. Now let's get the rest of this out of our blender. This Dyia block cheese is really good. I don't know. I just actually like this cheese for some reason. I love eating cheese and crackers and olives. And so when I just want that little snack of cheese and crackers and some olives, this is definitely satisfying. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Now let's go ahead and mix this some more. And if you don't want to use more of the Alfredo sauce to loosen it up, if it's thick, you can always add your milk. That will do the trick as well. Just want to make sure as it cooks, it's not going to be dry. So I am definitely going to be adding a little bit more liquid in here. And I'm actually going to grab a little bit bigger pot so I can stir it better and get it evenly distributed. So bear with me a moment. All right, guys, so I was able to get this transferred over into a bigger dish. Yes, my husband was right again. He was like, honey, you're gonna need a bigger dish. I was like, I think it'll all fit in there. So it didn't. So, and as I mentioned, as I was staring in, you know, it is gonna need some more of the sauce. And again, you can use your milk as well. You don't have to use strictly Alfredo. You can loosen it with your milk as well. So, get my spatula here. But because I like the Alfredo taste and it's already in here, I'm going to use another jar. So this is 2 jars of the Alfredo for this large dish that I'm making. And if I need more milk in here, I'm going to add milk because we don't want it to be dry as it cooks, because this is going to cook in the oven for about 30 minutes. And we want it to be moist and not dry. Okay, so that's key. And so, but I did want to add just one more thing of the Alfredo before I put my milk in here. Okay. It's all about making sure it's liquidy enough when you put it in the oven. So then as it cooks, it's not going to be dry when you bring it out. It's going to have moisture. It's going to be just like a casserole. Creamy, gooey, ooey, good. So, but I'm excited right now how it's turning out. It definitely looks good. I'm going to taste it to see if we need any more flavor though. Now that I got everything moving a little bit more easily in the pan and not restricted with stuff falling out of the pan and not getting a good stare. So I wanted to make sure those seasonings were mixed in here really good before we add any more. Okay. So, all right. So there we have it. So now on to our milk. I'm going to just use this cup. It's about a half a cup of milk. Want to get that in there. Yeah, see how now it's starting to be able to flow. That's what we want. Because those cheeses and these pasta, this stuff will stick. So I'm doing it a little bit at a time just so I don't over measure, you know, and that way you guys can see it. So we definitely need a little more. So I'm going to do another half a cup. So that's 1 cup of milk that we've added in here. Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah. And I think one more half a cup will do the trick. Okay. All right. So as far as our seasonings, we did about a teaspoon of the spice, teaspoon of the smoked paprika, a teaspoon of the Old Bay so far. But I want to taste it just to see if we're going to need any more. And we did put a little bit of garlic on the noodles, not very much. It was just a sprinkle, but I will taste that and see if we need more of that as well. Get down in here and get a nice little scoop. It's definitely good. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of my spice. So this is about gone. So that's got a teaspoon. Yeah. Heaping teaspoon of the spice I used. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the Old Bay. I'll do another teaspoon of Old Bay. I love Old Bay. And we're going to do another teaspoon of garlic. Now let's see. Let me rinse my spoon. Okay. See, this is easy to make, y'all. Quick and easy. It's just getting everything mixed together. Because once you have everything pretty much cut up, getting everything mixed together, it's easy from there. I'll get back in here. Okay. Okay. Then once we get everything in here, we want to just kind of smooth everything out because it's going to go in the oven again. And we're just kind of letting this kind of marry together in the oven for about 30 minutes. Everything's definitely cooked already, but we want to get that in here. And I know before we would want our cheese to melt, but our cheese is already melted. It's in here. So all we want to do is just get this in the oven. And what we're going to do now is we're going to top it with our French's onions. And this is the French's brand, non-GMO, made with real onions. So we're going to top that with these. If I can get them open here. Okay. We definitely got this sealed for freshness. Okay. So if you've never used the French's onions, these are just onion pieces that are basically just fried and crispied up. So we're putting all this goodness on. This is a holiday dish, so we definitely okay with using the fried onions on top. The onions inside, but we want that extra little crispiness on top. Okay, just make sure that's spread out evenly over your dish. Y'all probably not as messy as me, so again, I always say that, but that's just me. Okay, now let me wipe off my edges. Don't want anything cooking outside of the pan. Okay. And there you have it, our vegan no-tuna casserole. And I'm going to get this in the oven again for about 30 minutes at 375. I have my oven set at 375. I'm going to let this bake. And I'll come back out and let you guys see the end results. All right, guys, so here you have it out of the oven. It looks amazing. You see how I let the onions kind of crisp up a little bit. It was in the oven, 375, 30 minutes. No, it's 35 minutes. And out of the oven, everything looks good. It's still really moist looking. So we'll go ahead and get this plated up. So I'll let you guys see what it tastes like. All right, guys. See how simple and easy that was for this holiday dish, vegan, no tuna casserole. So simple and easy to make. And it's a beautiful dish, and it's a delicious dish, I think. But again, y'all know I'm not going to be the judge of my own food. So I'm going to call over my famous, loving, adorable, sweetheart husband, Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Can I have your assistance, please?
Yes, you may.
Come on over. I'm not trying to butter you up. Y'all, okay, wait a minute. I ain't trying to butter him up so he can give me a good thumbs up or nothing. So be honest, though, okay?
What?
Because I always just call you my little smooch. But I just love you, so. But be honest, okay?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll be honest.
Okay, I love you.
I'm gonna be honest about this food.
Okay, so this is the vegan no tuna casserole. This was a big hit back in the day.
Yes.
When you see tuna, you know we always have tuna casserole. The kids loved it.
Yes.
So this is vegan style. So.
Okay.
Let me know, let our audience know what you think about this, and if it's could be a table, a dish for Christmas.
Let me try it out.
If it could be one of those holiday dishes, because I'm naming it holiday dish.
I love me some tuna casserole.
I know you do.
I'm telling you, I kind of miss it too when I used to eat like real tuna in there. But
yeah.
Because
you pescatarian, you still eat tuna, so you can have a real tuna dish if I need to make you one. But don't go hunting. Don't get off focus. Stay focused on the vegan dish. Stay focused now. Stay focused on the vegan dish. You can breathe. You can come.
I don't want to breathe. Wait a minute.
You can come up for air. No, I'm just teasing.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Be honest with you, it tastes just like the regular tuna casserole, to be honest. I mean, with the cheese and that Alfredo sauce that she puts. Normally we use, the cream of mushrooms, but the Alfredo sauce made a great substitute for this. So, with that being said, y'all, with the the onion crisps on here, and the peas, and the regular onions, and all that sauce and cheese in here, y'all, and the noodles. Good God Almighty! Tell y'all, this is really good, y'all. You won't be disappointed in this. This makes a great holiday dish.
It does.
Another job well done, sweetheart.
All right, thank you. So okay, I feel good now. So let me taste it. I just want to make sure that it could go on the table. No one's gonna be disappointed.
It's really good.
And you know how we used to use the cream of mushrooms? This gives you that. When I cut up the mushrooms in there, it just looks like it, right?
Yeah, really looks good. Did a great job. Really good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good, huh? Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it, y'all.
Now I ain't trying to toot my own horn either, but it is good.
It's
you like
really
tuna
good.
casserole? It's and it's creamy. It's not dry, as I was telling you guys when I made sure. Let me bring it up so they can make sure to see the inside of it. Because I want them to know that it's not going to be dry. So it's creamy. You see that? It's not. It's wet. It's liquidy. Can you see it now? Okay. See that? It's not dry. It's moist. So just wanted to let you guys see, because as we were staring it up, it looked kind of thick, but there it is, guys, up close and personal. So
yeah.
All right, so you guys, I hope you try the vegan no-tuna casserole, and if you like it, you know what to do.
Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up.
And of course, share the video.
Share.
If you haven't already subscribed,
subscribe,
because I'll be coming back with another holiday dish for you. Something that you can put on the table for this holiday season or anytime, as a matter of fact. It doesn't have to be for the holidays. This is just a great dish to have really anytime. So again, you won't be disappointed. I know you're ready to finish that, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So from Cassandra's Kitchen to yours, we thank you for coming in. We thank you for just subscribing. We love you. Until next time. Bye-bye now.
Peace.